Hello everyone, my name is Alexey Glukharev, and on today's video we are going to talk about how we can prepare for mobile interview, especially for the big tech companies like Meta, Google, Netflix, Apple, and so on and so forth. And why the traditional way how we can prepare for it using coding sessions, prepare for the coding interview doesn't really work well, and what we can do better. At first, let's talk about interview structures. When you apply for the big tech companies, you will have at least 5 or 6 interviews. The first one of them is phone interview. It will be the simplest one. You will have a couple of coding tasks, usually it's easy or medium, LeetCode style tasks, and maybe a couple of experience or behavior questions, depends on the company. On this interview, your interviewer will check will you be able to go to on-site part, or you will be rejected and maybe they came to you next time. For the on-site part, it's usually 3 types of interviews. It's coding, behavior or experience, and system design. And here's a big thing why preparing just for the coding part it's not really good, because coding part is less important. Let's stop here a bit and talk about the coding session and why it's so overrated. Coding session usually is you ticket to the next step for system design or experience, and it's not so important for the interview because only on system design and experience interview they will have you some grade. You will be junior, middle, senior, maybe staff or maybe more. But coding session is like Boolean flag, true or false. You just proceed to the next step or fail here. And sometimes coding session really less important. You can fail on one of them if you have a couple of coding sessions in a row and still get your job. But at the same time, coding is still important for you, for sure. You have to know how to code. Especially when you apply for intern or junior position, you will show how to code because you know how to code it well from your university or your college and so on and so forth. And you may be not so proficient with experience, you do not have so much experience from your past if you just graduate, or maybe you're not so efficient and proficient from the system design interview. So such a case, coding interview is still important and you have to be prepared. For the other cases, if you go to apply for some senior position, let's think about small percentage of your time that you will spend on coding interview for preparation compared to the other interviews. The next steps for you is system design and experience interview. Usually for the big tech companies you will have at least one experience interview with your manager, with maybe your future manager or just random manager from the company. It will be at least 1 hour or 45 minutes, depends on the company as well. And then you will have 1 or 2 system design interviews in a row. Also depends on your seniority level. Usually for the senior position you will have 1 system design interview, for staff position at least 2 them in a row. I want to emphasize once again that only on experience and system design interview you will have your level and your interviewers will give it to you. You will be L4, L5 or maybe L6, depends on your seniority level. And which doesn't happen on your coding sessions, so only on system design interview and experience. On the experience interview you will talk with some manager or maybe IC6 and higher roles, so they will ask you some standard questions, some standard experience on behavior questions about your career before, your path, your experience, maybe about the product you're proud of, your failure, the feedback that you receive and provide, and so on and so forth. Let's deep dive on such a question in separate video, and just think about that this session is really important for you, especially when you apply for some senior positions. System design interview is another session which is really important for us. On such a session, your interviewer will ask you about how to build system, especially if you apply for mobile position, have to build mobile system. It can be design a chat application, some Instagram or Facebook feed, or maybe create some download or upload manager and so on and so forth. We have another video in our channel to deep dive in system design session, but let's think about that this session is really important for you, for your career, for your leveling, and spend a significant amount of time to prepare for it. So let's talk about preparation and time. You have 3 sessions: it's coding, system design, and experience. But if you apply for some senior position, and once again, you don't need to spend a lot of time on the coding part. Don't think about more than 20% of your time for the coding sessions, and the other 80%, equally in a half, you can apply for system design interview preparation and experience interview. You will prepare the list of questions that you probably will asked on experience interview. Just be prepared ahead of time, because if they ask you such questions during the interview and you haven't thought about it yet, so it will be hard to find the right answer. The same applicable for the system design interview as well. So, but if you apply for junior position, maybe some middle roles, let's think about more time for the coding part, maybe up to half of your time for the coding, because for junior position you do not have enough experience from your past that you can describe on experience interview session, and the same also applicable for the system design. So here is the issue that provided many of YouTube channels here and there, that they focus on coding part, but it's not really important. If you have some job behind and you have some experience before, so you probably will apply to middle or maybe senior positions, especially for such companies. So don't focus on the coding part. You have to pass through all of them. You do not be really proficient. You do not need to be Olympic champion for the coding challenges. Just make it, solve some tasks, and that's it. So focus on system design and experience, because on experience interview you will provide the right signals about your grade, about your experience, about who you really are. The same applicable for the system design interview. So you will show you how do you design system, how you understand how this system works, how you understand how the actually team works, and maybe some team processes, so on, so forth. So let's focus on such an interviews instead of coding part. Another idea why the coding part is less important than the other two related to leveling and grading system for the big tech companies or FAANG companies. For example, we will take L3, which is entry level or junior level. You will have to code a lot for sure. Your manager or maybe your peer with more senior level will give you some tasks. They will all prepare what you need to do for such a task, and you just execute it. You write the code, nothing else. Your horizon of planning just only 1 or 2 weeks long, which is basically 1 sprint long. But when you go to more senior role, for the middle role, for the L4, you will have your own project, maybe with small scope, but still your own project. You will collaborate to deliver it. You will have a lot of conversation with the other team members, with product engineers, product managers, with some designers, software engineers, and so on and so forth. You will collaborate, and collaboration skill became important for such roles. And the more senior you are, the more collaboration and soft skills are important. For example, for the senior role, your horizon planning will be just half a year long. So you plan a lot for your team. You will collaborate a lot inside of your team, maybe outside of your team as well, to create some connection and having some products that related to multiple teams sometimes. Yeah. And the more level you have, the more collaboration and soft skill you have to show up. So for example, if you go to level 6 for a staff role, you'll collaborate across the whole org. You will have the multiple teams, you will have the projects that related to multiple teams and multiple projects as well. So you will collaborate across the whole organization. For staff role, you will just apply some business metrics, find some products that relate to the same metrics, and deliver them. Multiple projects, multiple teams. so the big impact. Thank you for watching this video. If you find this video useful, subscribe on my channel and I will provide more useful stuff for you. See you soon!